50 Cent hates his own son, and he might have a good reason why.
Raise a celebrity A-list child.
Support. I paid $350,000.
Your child is not me.
Brother.
Your child is not me. Your child never been on a private jet before.
On the surface, it looks like 50 Cent has it all. Between breaking records as one of the top-selling rappers in history and raking in millions as a TV executive, 50 is literally the embodiment of the American dream. But when you take a closer look at 50's personal life, you start to see something way more complicated and tragic, especially when it comes to 50's twisted relationship to his oldest son, Marquise Jackson. And if you dig deep enough, it turns out that his issues with Marquise might go all the way back to the assassination attempt that nearly claimed 50's life all those years ago. That's why we're doing a full breakdown on every single reason why 50 Cent hates his own son. How did Marquise inspire 50 to take rapping seriously? Why did Marquise start hanging out with some of his dad's biggest ops? And what's the story behind the allegations that 50 tried to have Marquise and his son's mother unalived? We've even dug through the whole archive of 50's leaked text to his son to give you a complete picture of how their falling out became so ugly and public. Finally, we're gonna take a closer look at why 50 will never forgive Marquise and how his son really might be his greatest failure ever.
So his mother was, got pregnant, and it kind of was like, I had to make like a little small transition because I know I can't do that and provide for him in that scenario. So I tried to do something different.
50 Cent's son, Marquise Jackson, was born in 1996 before his dad was ever famous. Back then, 50 was still hustling to make a name for himself as a rising artist from Southside Jamaica, Queens. But Marquise being born gave 50 a new lease on life. In some of 50's earliest interviews, he spoke about how Marquise's birth changed him as a person. Quote, "When my son came into my life, my priorities changed because I wanted to have a relationship with him that I didn't have with my father." He even said if he didn't have Marquise, he may have never become a rapper in the first place. Quote, "Me being an artist is on the music front came from my son actually. He was motivation to go in a different direction." But as 50's career started to take off in the late 90s, he also attracted plenty of enemies. His breakout single, How to Rob, had him threatening to stick up all the top artists and celebrities in the industry, from Jay-Z and Diddy to Will Smith and Mike Tyson. But the song that really put a target on 50's back was Ghetto Quran. In Ghetto Quran, 50 paid tribute to some of the biggest street legends in Southside Jamaica by name, including one of the most powerful drug lords in New York City, Kenneth Supreme McGriff.
Yo, when you hear talk of the Southside, you hear talk of the team. You niggas fear Prince and respected Preem. For all you slow mother, I'ma break it down illa. See, Preem was the businessman and Prince was the killer.
Even though 50 and Preem had a relationship, that name drop was highly controversial. While 50 said that Ghetto Quran was all about paying homage, others accused him of dry snitching and airing out street business publicly. Things got so heated to the point that Preem ordered that 50's music be blacklisted from recording studios across the country. And on May 24th of 2000, 50's beef with Supreme nearly cost him his life. That day, 50 Cent was outside his grandmother's house with his son Marquise when a gunman walked up on him and shot him 9 times. 50 was shot in the hand, arm, hip, chest, face, and both legs. But miraculously, 50 survived the attempt on his life and came back more powerful than ever. At first, the entire music industry backed away from 50. Columbia Records dropped him from the label and completely scrapped his debut album, Power of the Dollar. So 50 had to start from scratch. He hid out with Marquise and his baby mom, Shaniqua Tompkins, in the Poconos while he recovered from his injuries. But even then, people still wanted 50 dead. Plus, Preem's blacklist was still in effect, and recording studios all across America refused to work with him. 50 was forced to record music in Canada, and from there, he began flooding the market with mixtape freestyles. Even though he had been dropped from his label, 50 Cent built his own buzz in the streets, and the industry was forced to pay attention to him. By 2002, 50 Cent's comeback was complete. He signed a $1 million record deal with Eminem and Dr. and became the rap game's most fearless rising star. And his son Marquise had a front row seat to the whole thing.
You can call the school You can ask, say, I'm a parent of a senior, or have your assistant call. I'm not being condescending. Have your assistant call. People that I did invite, they stood on the side to watch the graduation because, like, you could have been there.
But as the money and fame rolled in, 50 and Marquise's relationship started to become a lot more strained. At first, Marquise was damn near always by 50's side. He appeared in 50's Wanksta video, and in one early interview, 50 talked about how Marquise bragged about his dad surviving 9 gunshot wounds. Quote, one time he was watching TV with another little kid and a person got shot and died. He said to the other kid, "That's weak. My daddy got shot a lot of times. He didn't die." That's crazy. But things really started going south in 2008. At that point, Marquise's mom, Shaniqua, was fighting with 50 over a $4 million mansion in Long Island. According to Shaniqua, Fifth had promised her the house, but was trying to go back on their deal. But on May 30th of 2008, the house caught fire when someone allegedly tossed a Molotov cocktail through the window while Shaniqua and Marquise were staying there. Thankfully, both of them escaped, but the mansion was completely destroyed, and Shaniqua claimed that 50 Cent was behind the alleged arson. Quote, he tried to kill me and his own child. Who do I think did it? Curtis Jackson. He threatened me on Monday that he was gonna have someone visit me. My kids are in the house. Who would try to kill your own kids? He's supposed to be all about being a gangster. That's not gangster, that's a coward. Marquise seemed to agree with his mom. According to a neighbor who was there when the fire broke out, Marquise called his dad a and was extremely shaken, which is kind of understandable. I mean, the kid had to run from a burning house in the middle of the night. 50 denied any involvement, but that was the first moment where Marquise and Fist's relationship truly started to break down. Marquise really seemed to believe that his dad ordered their house to be burned down.
Would I work with him? I don't know. His music hasn't been too good lately.
And as Marquise Jackson grew up, his beef with his father got uglier and even more public. In 2013, texts between 50 and 16-year-old Marquise leaked online and showed the world just how bad their relationship had gotten. In those texts, 50 tells his son, "Fuck you, stop texting me, delete my number," and calls Marquise stupid. At one point, Fifth literally tells Marquise, quote, "I don't have a son anymore, and tell your mother she won. She has you, I'll make another." That's crazy. When 50 asked Marquise if he would care if he died, Marquise responded, quote, "And this is coming from someone that didn't wish me a happy birthday." 50 shot back that he was taking Marquise out of his inheritance and said, quote, "I need a blood test cause that sucking bitch you call mom was fucking the whole time." And when 50 was pressed about Marquise during an interview, he said that Shaniqua had poisoned their relationship. Lord Jesus. This is messy. Quote, "He's completely embraced his mom's perspective on me. Everything in his life I provided for him, regardless of if I'm there or not. She hasn't worked since 2000. Her being in the actual home since 2000, living off of what I provide for him, is enough for her not to go to actual work." But Shaniqua accused 50 of not seeing Marquise for years and told the press that Marquise felt replaced by 50 Cent's newborn son with another woman. Shaniqua also accused Fifth of mentally abusing Marquise. But Marquise wanted to hit his dad where it hurts. So in 2014, he started posting pictures with one of 50's most famous ops, Floyd Mayweather. While 50 and Floyd were once business partners, they had a brutal falling out. And now Fifth's firstborn son was literally posting up with his enemies. But even then, Fifth seemed to place the blame on Shaniqua. Quote, "With him, that situation is so complex. I think over time, Shaniqua's installed her entitlement, even in being a privileged child." Fifth even posted a throwback photo of him with Marquise where he wrote, quote, "This kid's gonna hate his mother when he realizes what she did to him. He has to make his own like I did. SMH, good luck." Marquise shot back with a whole diss track called Different, where he opened up about his relationship with his dad and even compared it to another one of 50's top enemies, The Game.
Why so serious? Keep my name out your mouth. I do the same. Hey, you want a cookie? Man, I feel like I'm Dame.
Marquise low-key does kind of sound like his dad though. If they saw eye to eye, they might actually make some good music together.
Fifth, you love yourself? I used to. You ask yourself how long, a complicated question would say, how long can you love something that don't love you back?
But then Marquise crossed the line in a way that 50 could never forgive. In 2018, Marquise Jackson took photos with Kyle McGriff, aka the son of Preem, the very same man who tried to have 50 unalived all those years ago. Taking pictures with Floyd Mayweather was one thing, but this was a level of portrayal that shattered 50's relationship with his son forever. 50 responded to the pic in the most savage way possible. Quote, "If both these little niggas got hit by a bus, I wouldn't have a bad day." 50 wishing death on his own child triggered a ton of backlash on socials, but 50 stood 10 toes. Quote, "I have zero ill will towards anyone living on this earth. The people Shaniqua's son looks up to and associates with is a reflection of the negative energy he embraces towards me. I paid his mother $1,360,000 in child support to afford him opportunities I never had." Marquise later claimed he didn't know Kyle McGriff and that he thought he was just taking a pic with a random guy. Quote, "I don't know that kid. His friends asked for a pic, he fanned out and held it for years." But to 50 Cent, it didn't matter. After calling Marquise out for being privileged and entitled, his son inserted himself in the very same street beef that got him shot 9 times. And even though Kyle's dad, Preem, is currently serving a life sentence in federal prison, 50 had zero interest in forgiving anybody. When you really think about it, Marquise linking up with Preem's son was the ultimate humiliation for 50. He had survived going to war with one of New York's biggest crime bosses and was one of the biggest celebrities in the world, but now his son was literally hanging out with his ops family for clout. But Marquise kept going. Instead of trying to change his behavior, he started to embarrass himself by begging his estranged dad for more money. In 2022, when Marquise was 25 years old, he complained about 50's, quote, "inadequate child support payments."
I had to rebuild my life over with $6,700 a month.
Marquise, I know you feel like that.
This is crazy. I'm 25 years old. Why are you still talking about child support?
I remember this. This is actually crazy.
$600-700 a month in the state of New York City. You do the math. You're talking about somebody that has problems with everybody. You can't just live in any neighborhood. $81K is not a substantial lot of money.
And as you could imagine, the whole world clowned him, including me. After all those years of 50 complaining that his son was entitled, Marquise basically told on himself and came off as mad spoiled. 50 responded that his son should be ashamed for being that grown while still asking for child support. Quote, "He thinks being 50 Cent's son means he doesn't have to work. I offered to set up a business for him to earn $1 million a month, but he refused. He has an entitlement mentality, thinking my money is his. It hurts to see him so irresponsible. I keep saying this publicly, hoping he'll be ashamed and start working." And if people didn't like how 50 talked about his son, he said, quote, "Excuse me if I seem a little insensitive at times. I came up a little harder than these guys. I never met my father and my mother got killed when I was 8. At this point, I don't think 50 Cent is ever gonna forgive Marquise for all the shit that he's pulled.
While he's there, go order hookah, watermelon hookah, and you see him run, go get it.
But things might get worse, because 50 hinted that Marquise could be looking at some actual jail time. For Father's Day of 2025, Marquise decided to antagonize his dad once again with a hookah pic. Quote, "Happy Father's Day to all the real ones. I'm watching my bet and it ain't looking too good. I got the over. We know this is a day for photo ops. The day ain't over. Finish strong. Get on your job." But 50 was not playing around. He went scorched earth on his son, accusing him of running scams with his family. Quote, "You little punk, your mama got you and your sister scamming. Then people came to ask me some questions about it. I said, I don't fuck with them. I'm a law-abiding citizen." And in another post, 50 wrote, quote, "I bet they're gonna blame me when I get picked up for scamming PPP loans and they're gonna say it was my fault they were broke." If what 50 is saying is true, Marquise is gonna have way more problems than scoring child support payments from his father. Even if Marquise is under investigation for scamming, I don't think there's any way 50 tries to help him out. There's so much bad blood between them that Marquise is 100% on his own. When you really think about it, the part that seemed to hurt 50 the most is that Marquise never inherited his hustle or determination. 50 built an image on being one of the industry's most ruthless businessmen and the ultimate rap mogul. But the biggest weak spot he might have is Marquise. If you look at 50 Cent's old interviews, he clearly wanted Marquise Jackson to be the heir to his throne and carry out his legacy. Instead, Marquise complains constantly about his dad and whines about the money he's entitled to. It's the ultimate slap in the face for 50, and it's easy to see why he's ashamed of what his son has become.